My daughter's new husband didn't know I could understand sign language. When I saw what he was secretly communicating to that man at our family dinner, I realized the perfect son-in-law my daughter had married was actually planning something that would destroy her completely. I just wish I'd trusted my instincts sooner. I'm Eleanor Morrison. I'm 67 years old, and I've been a widow for 9 years. My husband James died when our daughter Amanda was only 32, leaving her alone with a 3-year-old daughter, Sophie. Sophie, my beautiful granddaughter, was born profoundly deaf. At first, Amanda was devastated. She didn't know how to communicate with her own child. But I told her the same thing I'd told countless parents during my 40 years as a pediatric nurse: love finds a way. We all learned American Sign Language together. Amanda, me, even James before he passed. Sophie became our world. We attended deaf community events, made friends in the ASL community, celebrated deaf culture. Sophie was never a disability to us. She was just Sophie, brilliant and funny, and more observant than any hearing child I'd ever met. Deaf people see things others miss. I learned that lesson well. Amanda's first husband, Sophie's father, died in a car accident 5 years ago. Drunk driver. Amanda was shattered again. But she's strong, my daughter. She threw herself into her marketing career, raised Sophie, built a good life. The life insurance from Sophie's father was substantial. Amanda invested it wisely, bought a beautiful house in Riverside, just outside Phoenix. She never talked about the money, but I knew it was there, a safety net for Sophie's future, for college, for whatever she'd need. Then, 2 years ago, Amanda met Marcus. Marcus Blake was 45, handsome in that polished way some men are. He worked in commercial real estate, or so he said, always dressed in expensive suits, drove a BMW, had that confident smile that made people trust him. Amanda was so happy. Finally, she'd say, finally someone who treats me right. Someone who loves Sophie. And Marcus did seem to love Sophie. He learned some basic signs. Hello, thank you, I love you. Simple stuff. Sophie liked him. That's what convinced Amanda to marry him last year. If Sophie approved, it must be real. I had my doubts. There was something in Marcus's eyes when he looked at Amanda's house, her car, the way she dressed. Something calculating. James used to say I was too suspicious, that I saw problems where there were none. But James also said, Ellie, you've seen enough people in that hospital to know when someone's faking. I'd learned to read people. And Marcus set off every alarm I had. I tried to tell Amanda once, gently, honey, you've only known him 8 months. Maybe wait a bit longer? She'd laughed. Mom, I'm 43 years old. I know what I'm doing. Marcus is good to me. He's good to Sophie. That's all that matters. So I backed off. What else could I do? Amanda was an adult. She'd made her choice. But I kept watching. I noticed little things. The way Marcus would steer conversations toward Amanda's finances. Have you thought about refinancing the house? What's your investment portfolio looking like? You should let me help you manage your assets. Amanda, trusting and in love, shared everything with him. I noticed how Marcus never seemed to actually work much. He'd take calls, sure, talk about deals, but where were the closings? Where were the clients? When I asked Amanda, she said he was between major projects, that commercial real estate was cyclical. I noticed that Marcus had encouraged Amanda to add his name to her bank accounts. We're married, babe. What's yours is mine, right? He'd said it like a joke, but Amanda had done it. Joint accounts? Joint credit cards? And I noticed that Marcus's ASL never improved beyond those basic signs. After 2 years with Sophie, he should have been conversational. But he'd stop trying. He'd just smile at Sophie and give her a thumbs up, let Amanda translate everything. Sophie never complained, but I saw the disappointment in her eyes. Her stepfather didn't really want to talk to her. 6 months ago, things started changing. Marcus began bringing business associates around. Amanda would mention them casually. Marcus's partner stopped by. One of Marcus's investors came for drinks. I met a few of them. They had that same polished, too smooth quality Marcus had. They'd shake my hand, call me ma'am, compliment Amanda's house. One of them, a man named Derek, was deaf. I was shocked when I first met him. Marcus introduced us at Amanda's house during a Sunday barbecue. This is Derek Chen, my business partner. Derek's deaf, but don't worry, He reads lips great. Derek smiled and signed to me. Nice to meet you. I signed back automatically. Pleasure to meet you too. Derek's eyes widened slightly, but Marcus had already turned away, didn't notice. Derek and I had a brief conversation in ASL. He was charming. Told me he'd been deaf since birth, that he'd gone to Gallaudet University. He asked about Sophie. Seemed genuinely interested in her progress with ASL. But something felt off. His signing was too perfect, too formal, like someone who'd learned it academically, not someone who'd grown up in the deaf community. There were little things, cultural references he missed, deaf jokes he didn't get. Sophie noticed too. Later she signed to me. That man's signing is weird, Grandma. Weird how? I asked. Like he learned from a book, not from deaf people. I filed that away. Marcus started having more business meetings at Amanda's house. He'd set up in the den, close the door. Sometimes Derek would be there, sometimes other men. Amanda thought nothing of it. He's working on a big deal, she'd tell me. Something about a commercial development in Scottsdale. But I noticed Marcus watching me during these meetings. Noticed how he'd switch to speaking when I was around, even though Derek was supposedly deaf. Noticed how they'd stop talking entirely if I came too close. 3 weeks ago, Amanda called me excited. Mom, Marcus is closing his biggest deal ever. We're having a celebration dinner next Friday. You have to come. Sophie's so excited. She wants to show you her new science project. Of course, honey. I'll be there. Oh, and Marcus's partners will be there too. Derek and a couple others. Marcus really wants them to meet you properly. He says you're important to him. That felt wrong. Why would Marcus care about his business partners meeting his mother-in-law? But I said, that's sweet of him. The week before that dinner, I did something I'm not proud of. I hired a private investigator. His name was Tom Rodriguez, a retired police detective who'd helped me once before when a nurse at my hospital had been stealing medication. Tom was thorough, discreet. I gave him Marcus's name, his supposed company, everything I knew. What am I looking for? Tom asked. I don't know, I admitted. Just tell me if he's who he says he is. Tom called me back in 4 days. Eleanor, we need to talk. Not over the phone. Can you come to my office? My stomach dropped. That bad? Yeah, that bad. I met Tom at his small office in Tempe. He slid a folder across his desk. Marcus Blake doesn't exist. At least, not the way your daughter knows him. What? His real name is Marcus Brennan. He's a con artist. He's done this 3 times before. Marries wealthy widows or divorcees, gains access to their finances, then disappears with everything. His last victim in California lost $800,000 before she even realized what happened. There's a warrant out for him in San Diego. I felt sick. Amanda, there's more. Derek Chen? Also fake. His real name is Derek Winters. He works with Marcus. They run the scam together. Derek pretends to be deaf to eavesdrop, to gain sympathy, to seem trustworthy. They've perfected it. He's not deaf? I whispered. Nope. And neither are the other partners you've met. They're all in on it. They're setting up to drain your daughter's accounts and disappear. Based on the pattern, I'd say they're close to making their move. I gripped the folder. How do we stop them? We need proof. We need to catch them in the act, on record, planning the theft. Then we go to the police. The dinner, I said suddenly. Friday. They'll all be there. If Derek thinks no one understands ASL except him and Sophie, and if Sophie isn't in the room, Tom leaned forward. They might communicate in sign language. Right in front of everyone. I can understand every word. Tom smiled grimly. Then let's set a trap. We planned carefully. Tom would be outside in a van, recording. I'd wear a small camera disguised as a brooch. Amanda couldn't know. If she knew, she might confront Marcus, and he'd run. We needed him caught, arrested, unable to hurt her or anyone else again. Friday arrived. I dressed carefully in a navy blouse, the camera brooch pinned at my collar. I practiced staying calm. I'd spent 40 years in emergency rooms, staying calm under pressure. I could do this. Amanda's house was beautiful that evening. She decorated, cooked, set out expensive wine. Sophie helped her mother in the kitchen, excited about the party. She signed to me, "Grandma, look what I made for my science project." She showed me a detailed model of the solar system, each planet carefully painted, labeled in both English and sign language. "It's beautiful, sweetheart," I signed back. "You're so talented." Marcus emerged from the den in a crisp suit. He kissed Amanda's cheek. "Everything looks perfect, babe." The doorbell rang. Marcus answered it. Derek entered, followed by two other men I'd met before, Ryan and Scott. They all greeted Amanda warmly, complimented her home, her cooking. They greeted me politely. "Mrs. Morrison, so good to see you again." Derek signed hello to me. I signed back, keeping it simple, not showing how fluent I really was. He seemed satisfied that I knew only basic signs. We sat down to dinner. Amanda had made her specialty: herb-crusted salmon, roasted vegetables, garlic mashed potatoes. The wine flowed. Conversation was light, pleasant. Marcus told funny stories about his supposed real estate deals. The other men laughed at the right moments. Sophie ate quietly, watching everyone. She was used to being left out of conversations when hearing people dominated. It broke my heart every time. But tonight, I needed her to be elsewhere. After the main course, Amanda said, "Sophie, honey, why don't you go work on your science project? You wanted to finish the asteroid belt, right?" Sophie nodded and headed to her room upstairs. That's when things changed. Marcus glanced at his partners. Ryan casually signed to Derek. "Is the kid gone?" Derek signed back. "Yes. Upstairs." I kept my face neutral, eating my salmon, pretending to listen to Amanda talk about her latest marketing campaign. Scott signed to Marcus. "When are we moving?" Marcus signed back, "Tuesday. Transfers are scheduled. New accounts are set up in the Caymans." My blood went cold. Derek signed. "What about the property? When does she sign it over?" Marcus signed, "Monday." I told her it's for tax purposes, to put the house in a trust. She'll sign everything. She trusts me completely. Ryan signed, smirking. "And the old lady? The mother?" Marcus glanced at me, then signed back. "She's harmless, doesn't understand anything we're saying. I made sure she only knows baby signs. Amanda said her mother never got past basic ASL. Amanda had told him that. I deliberately kept my skill level hidden from Marcus, something instinctive I couldn't explain until now. Derek signed, "What about the kid, Sophie?" Marcus signed dismissively. "She's deaf. Who's she going to tell? And in sign language? Please. By the time anyone figures it out, we'll be gone." I set down my fork carefully. 40 years of nursing had taught me to control my reactions. Even when a child was coding, even when parents were screaming, I stayed calm. I stayed calm now. Scott signed. "So Tuesday, we clear the accounts. You file for divorce from somewhere else, and we split the take?" Marcus signed. 800,000, split 4 ways, 200 each, easy money. She'll never even see it coming. Amanda was still talking, oblivious, excited about her campaign winning some award. Marcus smiled at her, touched her hand. "That's wonderful, babe. You're so talented." I excused myself. "Bathroom," I murmured. In the hallway, I texted Tom. "They're discussing it. Tuesday. Transferring $800K. Have it all on camera." Tom texted back. "Police are ready. Give the signal." I returned to the table. Amanda was serving dessert. Chocolate lava cake, Marcus's favorite. Derek signed to the group. "This is almost too easy. She's so trusting." Ryan signed, "They always are. Rich widows desperate for love." Marcus signed, "Amanda's the easiest mark yet. She handed me everything. Bank accounts, property access, investment passwords. She even gave me power of attorney last month." My hands shook. I gripped my napkin. Scott signed, "What if something goes wrong?" Marcus signed, "Nothing will go wrong. I've done this 3 times. We stick to the plan. Tuesday morning, transfers complete by noon. We're on a plane by 2 p.m. Different countries, different identities." Derek signed, "And the wife?" Marcus signed, smiling at Amanda as he did. "She'll be broke and humiliated, but that's not my problem." Amanda laughed at something, completely unaware her husband was signing her financial death sentence right in front of her. I'd had enough. I stood up. My chair scraped loudly. Everyone looked at me. Eleanor? You okay? Amanda asked. I looked directly at Derek and signed, Yes, I'm fine, but I think we need to talk about Tuesday. Derek's face went white. Marcus frowned. Mom, what are you doing? I signed again, directly to Marcus this time. I'm saying that I understand every single word you've been signing for the past 20 minutes. I've been fluent in ASL for 16 years, and I know exactly what you're planning to do to my daughter. Amanda stood up, confused. Mom, what's going on? Marcus recovered quickly, laughing. Eleanor, I think you're confused. We were just talking about... You were planning to transfer $800,000 from Amanda's accounts on Tuesday, I said in English, my voice steady. You were planning to put her house in a fake trust on Monday. You have plane tickets for Tuesday afternoon. You're con artists, all four of you. And Marcus, your real name is Marcus Brennan. You're wanted in California for fraud. The room exploded. What? Amanda's face crumbled. Marcus stood up, his mask dropping. You crazy old woman, you don't know what you're talking about. Derek. I signed to him. Or should I say, Derek Winters. You're not deaf. You never were. You've been pretending to gain access. To eavesdrop. But you made mistakes. Your signing was too formal. You didn't know deaf culture. Sophie noticed. I noticed. Derek bolted for the door. He didn't make it. Tom and two police officers came through the front door, badges out. Nobody move! Phoenix PD! Marcus tried to run toward the back. Another officer was there, blocking him. Ryan and Scott put their hands up immediately. Amanda grabbed my arm, tears streaming down her face. Mom, what's happening? He's a con artist, honey. He was going to steal everything from you. The house, the investments, Sophie's college fund, everything. Tom had his camera footage. I had my camera. Between us, we had 20 minutes of them signing their entire plan, admitting to previous cons, discussing the exact amounts and timing. Marcus was screaming now. She's lying. That old woman is senile. Amanda, you know me. I have it all on video, I said calmly. Every sign, every admission. You thought I was just a harmless old lady who knew baby signs. You thought deaf people were too easy to fool. You were wrong. The police cuffed all four of them. The lead detective, a woman named Sarah Chen, took statements from Amanda and me. Mrs. Morrison, Detective Chen said, this camera work is excellent. We've been trying to catch these guys for 2 years. They've scammed 7 women across 3 states. This evidence will put them away for a long time. Amanda collapsed on her sofa, sobbing. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. How did I not see it? I sat beside her, held her. He was good at what he did, honey. That's why they kept getting away with it. But they underestimated the wrong old lady. Sophie came downstairs, confused by the police cars. What's happening? She signed. Amanda signed back, tears falling. Marcus was bad. Grandma saved us. Sophie looked at me, eyes wide. Then she signed. I told you his friend's signing was weird. You did, sweetheart. You were right. The police took Marcus and his crew away. Detective Chen told us we'd need to testify, but our evidence was so solid, they'd likely plead out. You should be proud, she told me. Most victims never get justice. Your quick thinking saved your daughter from financial ruin. After everyone left, Amanda and I sat in her kitchen. She'd stopped crying but looked hollowed out. I loved him, she whispered. I really thought he loved me. I know, honey. How did you know? Instinct. Little things that didn't add up. And when I met Derek, when Sophie said his signing was off, I started investigating. You investigated my husband? I protected my daughter. She broke down again. The house, Mom. He almost got the house. Sophie's college fund. Everything Dad left us. But he didn't. It's all still yours. The police will freeze his accounts. You'll get back anything he already transferred. I feel so violated. He shared my bed. He lived in my house. He played with Sophie. And all of it was fake. Not all of it. Sophie is real. I'm real. Your life is real. He was just a bad chapter. We sat in silence for a while. Then Sophie came over, climbed into Amanda's lap even though she was 13 and nearly too big for it. She signed, We're okay, Mom. We have Grandma. We have each other. We don't need him. Amanda signed back, "You're right, baby. We're okay." The trial was 3 months later. Tom's video, my camera, and testimony from Marcus's previous victims made it open and shut. Marcus Brennan got 12 years, Derek Winters got 10, Ryan and Scott got 8 each. Marcus tried one last manipulation. As they led him away, he looked at Amanda in the gallery and mouthed, "I did love you." Amanda signed back to him, "Liar." 6 months after that, Amanda sold the big house. Too many bad memories. She bought a smaller place, donated a portion of the recovered money to deaf education programs in Sophie's name. Sophie's signing improved dramatically. She started volunteering at the Arizona School for the Deaf, teaching younger kids. She told me, in sign, "Grandma, I want to help people like you helped us. I want to use ASL to protect people, not hurt them like Derek did." "That's beautiful, sweetheart. Will you teach me more? Advanced ASL? I want to be as good as you?" "Of course." Amanda started dating again, slowly. She's more careful now, makes men wait before introducing them to Sophie or sharing financial information. She's healing. As for me, I learned something important. For so long after James died, I felt invisible, just an old widow, a grandmother, someone whose time had passed. Marcus saw me that way too, just a harmless old lady in the background. But here's what I want you to know. Especially if you're listening to this and you feel invisible in your own life, if people underestimate you because of your age, your gender, your situation, you are not powerless. The skills you've learned, the wisdom you've gained, the things you know that others don't think you know, those are weapons. Use them. I learned ASL to connect with my granddaughter. It seemed like such a small thing, such a personal thing. But that small thing saved my daughter from financial ruin. It saved Sophie's college fund. It put 4 con artists in prison so they couldn't hurt anyone else. Never stop learning. Never let anyone convince you that you're too old, too invisible, too irrelevant to matter. Because the moment they underestimate you is the moment you have the advantage. Marcus thought I was just background noise. He signed his entire criminal plan right in front of me because he assumed I couldn't understand. He assumed wrong. Last week, Sophie and I took a trip together. We went to Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C., the world's only university for deaf and hard of hearing students. Sophie wants to go there for college.